Thank you. You may sit. Thank you, honorable members. Just a reminder for honorable members that in terms of the rules and the time allocation for member statement is as follows. Each member statement is 1.5 minutes. The MEC's response on a statement is 2 minutes, and a maximum of 7 statements are allowed under this rule. Are there any member statements? Honorable member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the African National Congress is concerned about the rising number of the employed undocumented foreign nationals by certain businesses, while the majority of ordinary South Africans remain unemployed. Honorable Speaker, confirmed the reports indicates that majority of township, urban and farm businesses within the province employs undocumented foreign nationals because those businesses can easily manipulate our labor law and regulations. Our immigrant law are very clear and without any ambiguities about the requirements that must be met if a foreign national wants to be part or start a business, or where a company intends to employ a foreign national in South Africa. One example is that such foreign national must possess a particular appropriate and scarce skill. It has become evident that the hiring of undocumented foreign nationals is clipping our economy and increase the number of unemployment in our citizens. Honorable Speaker, the African National Congress call upon the Department of Economic Development and Tourism and Labor to activate their trade and labor inspectors respectively to embark on an extensive investigation aimed at curbing the employment of undocumented foreign nationals. I thank you.
Thank you. We now call upon the MEC to respond.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, thank you very much, and good morning to all honorable members in the House. Well, Honorable Speaker, we take note of what Honorable Nkoyane raised around the undocumented foreign national, which that's a correct consent. I will request honorable members that we need equally to take a campaign around this matter of the undocumented foreign nationals. Secondly, it is true that foreign nationals, in terms of our laws, they are not allowed to be employed either as cheap laborers or doing whatever business, unless they've applied appropriately and followed correct procedures. And the procedures that include a person must have legitimate documents.
They interact with healthcare practitioners and manage claims investigations. Allegations have included intimidation, discriminatory audits, and possible financial misconduct. Yesterday morning, a formal step was taken in response to these long-standing concerns. Action as a Member of Parliament and member of the Health Portfolio Committee, Dr. Khosile Klape lodged criminal complaints against 3 major medical aid schemes, Discovery, Med Scheme, and GEMS. I think you forgot PAMET. The complaints relate to allegations of fraud, intimidation, and other criminal conduct that are alleged to have persisted for years. Dr. Liklape, who is a respected health professional and former president of the Health Professions Council of South Africa, has indicated that his decision was informed by information he encountered over several years in key regulatory roles. Honorable Speaker, this step, laying a formal criminal complaint, enables law enforcement authorities to access records, communications, and case files which are essential to determine whether wrongdoing has occurred. This action also follows the findings of Section 59 investigations. The emerging picture is one of institutionalized misconduct that cannot be ignored. While this is a matter under national jurisdiction, it holds deep implications for every province, including Mpumalanga, where many of our healthcare practitioners and patients rely on these schemes. If left unchecked, such practices threaten not only ethical medical practice, but also equitable access to healthcare and professional fairness. Honorable members, we have a responsibility to remain vigilant and informed. I will be closely following developments in this matter as they unfold, and I urge this House to remain committed to oversight wherever issues of fairness, access, and accountability in healthcare arise. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. We welcome the statement by Honorable Member Mashiane. Indeed, that's why, as the government of South Africa, we are saying that there should be universal health coverage, because that on its own, the NHI, will deal with what she has already raised in terms of discrimination, in terms of race, and also in terms of the charging of different practices, and also even hospital. So we support the investigation. Hence, the minister has said that is going to deal with that matter in preparation for implementation of the National Health Insurance. Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable,
Mkhabela.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to raise a member statement to welcome the appointment of Ms. Lindy Masina, our former speaker, as the new MEC for the Provincial Department of Education. The EFF calls upon MEC Masina to reverse or retract all the nonsense done by the former MEC Kathy Dlamini by removing qualified, experienced, and competent officials from their appointment positions.
Honorable Kabela, just take a seat.
Okay.
Take a seat. Honorable Mulambo.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to request the honorable member to withdraw the nonsense because it's unparliamentary. We don't have a problem with the statement, but we've got a problem with the word nonsense because it's unparliamentary. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Order. Honorable members, no, let's not do that. You are not noted. Honorable Mkhabela.
Yes, Deputy Speaker.
Can you withdraw that, sir?
Withdraw what? Sorry.
Yeah, you withdraw the word nonsense on the statement as raised by Honorable Fidel.
I don't think there's nothing to withdraw there. Nonsense, it depends on how you want to read it. It's no sense. So I don't know how Mr. Mlombo read it. So I don't know. There's nothing to withdraw. It's an English word.
Yeah,
and how you spell it.
Just hold on, Honorable Mkhabela, just hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, honorable members, no, let's not do that. This is what brings this particular sitting to delay for unnecessary submission that you are not noted. Nobody today will enjoy outside the rules a privilege. No one. Just ready yourself for that. Now, Honorable Mkhabela, there's a point of order that was raised on your statement that you've made to then withdraw the word nonsense on the statement.
Here's a hand, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
No. I noted you, but she's still on the podium.
Deputy Speaker, I already mentioned that there's nothing to withdraw. I said nonsense. It's no sense. What is to be withdrawn there? No sense.
Is it
offensive? If something doesn't make sense, it's no sense. Then what must I withdraw?
Is it parliamentary?
No
It's a
sense.
question.
It's no sense.
No. Honorable
It's
member.
what
is
must
it-
I withdraw?
No. The question
There's nothing
is-
to withdraw,
Yeah,
honestly.
just wait.
Okay.
Just wait. The question is that parliamentary?
Yeah,
If-
but you are out of order, Deputy Speaker. I've raised my hand.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean.
No,
when
I
you-
want to intervene because you
wait.
can't make a ruling.
Honorable Stephen, no, wait. When you have raised your hand, it does not mean we must rush to you. We're still addressing.
No,
the
but you are
issue.
causing a dialogue
No,
with
it's not
the
a dialogue,
member
just
here.
wait.
We want to assist you
Yeah, just
because
wait.
you have a dictionary here.
Just
You've got
wait.
lawyers, they can assist you.
Honorable Stephen, just wait. I have not noted you. Yes, Honorable Kabela? Yes. There's an order on the statement that you have mentioned that there's a word you used, nonsense, and on the order by Honorable Mlombo is that it's unparliamentary. And we are saying that it's still parliamentary. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, just press there.
Uvile le word vele ngeke ngisaliphinde. I said, Honorable Deputy Speaker, there's nothing for me to withdraw. If something doesn't make sense, you will say no sense. And if it makes sense, it's yes sense. Then now I am using no sense. Then you're saying we must withdraw. Withdraw what? Because here, the paragraph or the sentence, like this nonsense thing here, it fits very well. So why must I withdraw? Replace with what? Can you tell me which way to use?
Okay.
Even though I'm not going to use it, but just to, at least to help the house.
Okay.
If something doesn't make sense, it makes no sense, then can you ask him to tell me which way to use, the English word that he wants me to use from COSATU?
Yes. Okay. Now, Honorable Mkabela, I'm advised by our legal, you may proceed.
Honorable,
Sorry.
okay.
Try again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I start from the beginning?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to raise a member statement to welcome the appointment of Ms. Lindy Masina, our former speaker, as the new MEC for the Provincial Department of Education. The EFF calls upon MEC Masina to reverse or retract all the nonsense done by the former MEC Kathy Dlamini by removing qualified, experienced, and competent officials from their appointed positions and replacing them with unqualified, inexperienced, and incompetent ones. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the EFF also calls upon the MEC to speed up the delivery of school furniture desks, in particular to all the affected schools like Ngwane Secondary School in Barberton and Mtuma Secondary School in Chweni in Sikazi, Seket, amongst the many, as learners are packed like sardines in the classrooms and they were forced to lean and write their first and second quarter assessment while standing on their feet because of overcrowding
As you
and
wind up.
shortage of desks. I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable MEC.
Well, thank you very much. The alternative word of the nonsensical is non-radicalism. Yeah, you don't have to use the word. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the appointment of Honorable Masena is indeed welcomed by all of us. And we must thank Honorable Dlamini for the work she has done at the time when he was appointed. Like all of us seated here, who are doing our work at the different levels. We expect Honorable Masena to take where Honorable Dlamini left as a baton to complete the task given by the Premier and the ruling party she represents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We now proceed to the fourth statement. Honorable Masango.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to deliver a member statement. And I start by a question. Why is it that we as a provincial government intervene in local municipalities and undertake forensic investigations that are governed by the Municipal System Act? I ask because do we want to hold municipal leadership accountable, or it's just another box-ticking exercise? Honorable Deputy Speaker, as we stand, I can think of about 10 municipalities where nothing came from the forensic investigation that occurred since 2018. As a province, we spend millions of rands on this Section 106 of investigations. But what do we have to show for it? Emalahleni, Governor Mbeki, Dipalising, Dr. Pixley, Ka Isaka Seme, Leka and Tabacho, and just a fraction of where this forensic investigation stalled. In 2018, the forensic audit of Tabacho revealed how millions were wasted on a Chinese housing project that was hijacked by municipal officials. And despite clear recommendations, this project still remains hijacked, and the recommendation of the report must still be implemented. In Emalahleni, although similar instances of corruption were detailed and officials being singled out, the report is yet to be tabled in council as it is being challenged in courts by the implicated officials. Yet again, I ask, what is the purpose of this investigation, and what role will COGTA play in ensuring that these investigation reports are tabled and recommendations are followed? Lastly, who is to blame for the failure of not implementing this recommendation? It's not the MEC of COGTA. That's the question.
Thank you. Your time is up. Honorable MEC.
The word blame is for the opposite as well, Tate Masango. Thank you very much. Well, we are a constitutional country. For you to arrive to a decision must affect. It doesn't work like a kangaroo court that you might think you will come to the conclusion. And that's the reason Emalahleni is taken to court. Because for the same reasons that the other people feel they must be given opportunity to respond and argue the case. And that's the purpose to investigate, for us to arrive to an informed decision, whether dismissal, whether to recover the money, whether you use SIU, and eventually we recover the money. That process must have been followed. To be blamed, there are check and balance in any municipalities. And those municipalities, when we submit a report, it must go to the Speaker of Council, and Council must implement the resolutions. We are doing the monitoring, and the reports we receive monthly to assess progress in that regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, Member. Honorable Mnini.
Honorable Speaker, the ANC is delighted and appreciate the MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaison for conducting an oversight visit at the vehicle licensing and testing centers in Bombela to assess whether the services are delivered in line with the Freedom Charter's enduring principles. It is government conviction to uphold the Batopele principles as its foundation standard for all public service centers. The MEC also directly engaged with the customers to hear their experiences, and most of them expressed satisfaction with the quality and efficiency of the services rendered. Such visit served not only as accountability measures to reinforce adherence to Batopele, but also as a vital mechanism for driving continuous improvement in the public sector's service delivery. As the ANC, Honourable Speaker, we appreciate the MEC for putting people first and equally urge all members of the Executive Council to embark on such initiative. Thank you for the opportunity, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. We welcome the member statement from Honourable Munini. Indeed, we are trying our best as the department. We visited this station to look at them, and as there were serious complaints that they are dilapidated. We are on an advanced stage. We have identified them that we want to make sure that all the stations in Mpumalanga are in a state where they are required to be. The state of the art when people are going there, because largely it's where we are sourcing our revenue as the provisional government. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honourable Fenyane.
No, thank you, Deputy Speaker. Honourable members, I rise today on behalf of Umkhonto Party to call upon this House to acknowledge and commend the swift and commendable actions of South African Police Service in apprehending the 3 individuals accused of brutal hijacking and murder of a 60-year-old teacher in Kwaggafontein, which we made a statement on. This senseless act of violence has sent shockwaves through community, and our deepest condolences to go out to the family and loved ones of the deceased. Honourable Deputy Speaker, this tragedy clearly shows how serious and widespread violence is in our country. It underscores an urgent need for holistic and robust intervention aimed at addressing the root cause of crime. As we, the legislatures, must act for intelligence-driven investigation. Honourable Speaker, as Umkhonto Party, we conclude by calling upon this House.
As you wind up.
Yes, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Unified action and shared responsibilities that we can hope to build a safer and more society, all residents of Mpumalanga and beyond South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much once more, Honourable Deputy Speaker. We also welcome once more the member statement from Honourable Fenyane. Indeed, we are grinding towards a free Mpumalanga and free South Africa. We want to make sure that our citizens have confidence in the South African police. When there is criminal, we need to act decisively. We also welcome the input made as well. They are going to strengthen us as the department moving forward. Thank you very much.
In apprehending the suspects believed to be responsible for the brutal killing of our former regional deputy chairperson of Khartsibande, also a Pikar Hansala in the Mkhondo local municipality, Comrade Muzimanyati. Honourable Speaker, this breakthrough comes as we mark 3 years since the cold and senseless killing of Comrade Manyati, who was a dedicated ANC activist, principled leader, and disciplined cadre of our movement. His violent death left a deep wound in our hearts and a strong call for justice echoed throughout the region. Speaker, as the ANC, we thank the relentless efforts of our police force, led by the Acting Provincial Commissioner, Major General Zef Mkwanazi, and his team for their sterling job well done. I thank you.
Thank you. Honourable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, we appreciate the statement. It was our immediate responsibility when we were given the responsibility to be the MEC that we ought to arrest those who have killed and other members, not necessarily comrade, other members of the public. We are happy that indeed we have arrested the 3 suspects. They are behind bars. We are going to continue and make sure that all of them that are still at large, that we want to bring them before the courts. We are going to pursue them up until we arrest all of them, including other cases, whether prominent or not prominent. We are about to break another news with another prominent case. In no time, you will hear, Honorable Speaker, that we have arrested. We have already arrested. It's just we are waiting for process and make sure that indeed we have a right suspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, honourable members. That concludes our member statement. We now move for an executive member statement, and I'm informed there's no executive statement. We now move for motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice, honourable members? Honourable Mashilo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, and indeed our Honorable Premier who just joined us now. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the African National Congress, I would like to rise and move a motion without notice for the House to pass our deep sadness on the passing of our former Deputy President of the ANC and the country, Comrade Titi Mabuza. Comrade Titi Mabuza was born on the 25th August 1960 in Polar Trust. He passed away on the 3rd of July at the age of 64. He trained as a teacher and started his political journey through Black consciousness movement while still a student. He became the chairperson of South African Democratic Teachers Union in the late 1980s. Noting Comrade Mabuza's political career formally began after apartheid ended in 1994, when he joined the Mpumalanga provincial legislature. Over the years, he held several key roles, including being the member of the Executive Council's position and later served as a Premier of Mpumalanga from 2009 to 2018. In December 2017, Mabuza was elected Deputy President of the ANC and was sworn in and appointed as Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa on the 8th of February 2018 by President Cyril Ramaphosa. He served in that position until March 2023. I move that this House express our sincere condolences to his family, friends, comrades, and all the people of Mpumalanga and South Africa who are mourning his passing. He was laid to rest on the 12th July 2025. Let's pay tribute to his legacy and commitment to serving the people of South Africa. We'll dearly miss him. I so move. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Agreed.
So agreed. Thank you. Honorable Boardman, my friend.
Thank you, Honorable Sam. Deputy Speaker. I'm glad the Premier just walked in, Deputy Speaker, because I want to note that, Premier, this morning you missed a major opportunity to sort out the failing Department of Health by keeping MEC Manzini as the Health MEC. Further noting that in spite of the recent PSC report whereby it revealed that deep embedded corruption and financial misconduct by health officials and yet little to no consequence management. The PSC report stated that in the 2022-2023 financial report, more than 21 million rand was stolen from the department by 37 individuals. One individual helped herself to 19 million rand. 2% of the 21 million rand was recovered. 2 criminal cases was opened, and some officials received pay suspensions. Noting further, Honourable Deputy Speaker, that MEC Manzini has been the MEC since 2018. There should not be this level of corruption and financial mismanagement taking place in the Department of Health. MEC Manzini should be setting an example on good governance to the incoming MECs and not how to run a corrupt government. It's evident that the Premier has put the ANC and his cronies over the lives of the people of Mpumalanga. Our health facilities are in appalling conditions. Malpractice claims and financial mismanagement is at an all-time high. I therefore move that Premier Ndlovu stands up and puts the people of Mpumalanga first, takes a stand against corruption and financial misconduct, and fires MEC Manzini as the MEC of Health. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt
No.
the
No.
So the motion is defeated. Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I rise to move a motion without notice on behalf of the African National Congress to applaud the Mpumalanga Department of Health under the stewardship of MEC Sasekani Manzini for successfully declaring a war against teenage pregnancy program. Noting that the mandate of the department is to improve the health and well-being of all residents in the province by providing need-based, people-centered and equitable healthcare system. The department successfully conducted an initiative to tackle and prevent teenage pregnancy while creating awareness about the scourge at the recent event that took place on the 26th of June 2025 at Hlazache in Chief Albert Luthuli local municipality. Further noting that the province reported 6,422 teenage pregnancies for the year 2024-2025, which is a serious concern that needs to be confronted and rebuked with the contempt it deserves. The event afforded an opportunity to remind learners to abstain from engaging in sexual harassment, even if it's from a person they know, love, fear, or respect. By tackling teenage pregnancy, the department is taking a step forward in defeating HIV and AIDS, while alleviating poverty in the process. The department remains resolute in its quest to ensure that teenage pregnancy becomes a thing of the past. I thank you.
Thank you. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Agreed.
Motion defeated. Honourable Sidibe.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. I rise on behalf of the EFF to raise a motion without notice for this August House to applaud the Honourable Premier, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, for his decisiveness in the quest to fight against corruption in the provincial government. The EFF hereby warmly welcome the decision by the Honourable Premier to remove Ms. Katie Dlamini as the MEC for the Provincial Department of Education after a thorough investigation on her involvement in the irregular procurement of 22 laptops for the senior managers at 91,000 each, which costed the taxpayers over 2 million rand. The EFF further commend and applaud the good work done by the Integrity Management Unit House in the Office of the Premier and the investigation team for carrying their task with commitment, diligence, and capability. Much appreciated. I think, Honourable Deputy Speaker, this is a lesson that must be learned by all members of the Executive Council in this House, both old and new, that you are elected to serve the people, not to steal from the people, and that you must refrain from interfering with the administration function as Katie Dlamini did. Focus on your duties as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic and other laws. To this end, the EFF welcomed the newly appointed MEC and former Speaker, and we have no doubt that they discharge their duties with honest and diligence. And two, the former MEC of Education, Ms. Katie Dlamini, was saying people like you are not needed in this legislature. You must go home and redeem yourself because you don't belong in this house. We don't need a single rotten potato in this house. I so move.
Remember, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Agreed. No.
The motion
Agreed.
is defeated.
Agreed.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Member.
How? What defeated John?
Yeah, Honourable Member, just switch off, Honourable Kabele. Just switch off your mic.
No, before
No,
I
no,
switch.
you are not noted.
Okay.
No, you are not. Switch off first. Switch off, thank you. I noted you, Honourable Member. Yes, you may
Because
your
it's
motion?
not for motion, I want to raise something.
Yeah, no,
It's a
before-
concern.
Huh?
It's a concern that I want to raise.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much for affording me the opportunity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, now as we're voting, I try to press here to say yes. My microphone was switched off. Immediately when they said no, then this mic was on. So no, it's serious. It's a matter that needs to be taken serious. It's wrong. And I always stand up and talk about this issue.
Okay.
Our mics must not be managed. Let us vote. We are here in this house. We are equal, like we always say. All of us here are equal. We are executing our duties here.
Okay.
No one must switch off our microphone. My mic was green when I was supposed to say yes. Why?
Okay.
All along it was red.
Thank you. Your
That
point is
nonsense
taken.
must not happen again.
No. Let's assist you. Honorable Kabela, that's not the process today, okay? We're not voting through that system today. You are voting through the way we're doing it today. We're not using the system as for voting today. That's why the training was so important this morning. Okay, let's proceed, Honorable Member, with your motion without notice.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on behalf of Umkhonto weSizwe Party to extend our best condolences to the families and friends and loved ones of the following incredible humans. The first one is our Honorable David Titi Mabuza, the former Deputy President of South Africa and the former Premier of Mpumalanga, who served the nation and the people of Mpumalanga with dedication and distinction. He was also passionate by building the boarding school for our learners. So to honor him, can we please finish up the Mkondo boarding school? The second one is Mr. Veli Mahlangu, respected footballer, administrator, and former owner of Wheatbank Black Aces, who contributed significantly to the development of football in the province of Mpumalanga. And the last one is the talented Moses Sibia Lady Moore, a talented social media influencer, performer, and funeral singer, who brought joy and comfort to many through his music and performance. Siyazazi izingoma zakhe aba esontweni lezi ezithi yawa lembewu ayibiza ngokuthi ama false nalena ethi siyakudumisa amadumidumi. May the memories of these individuals be source in inspiration and strength to those who knew them. May their legacies live on, and may their families and people of Mpumalanga find peace and comfort during this difficult time. The people of Mpumalanga and Umkhonto weSizwe stand in solidarity in the bereaved families, offering support and condolences as they navigate the changing period. I so move.
Thank you. Honourable members, the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Agreed.
Agreed. Thank you. Now take the last two motions without notice. It seems we are concluded. Thank you, honourable members. We now move for notice of motions. Are there notices for motions? Honourable Weber.
No, I'm just raising in connection with the notice of motion that I've already given, Speaker.
Okay. Honourable Weber, it's okay. Honourable Makabane.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, greetings to yourself, Premier, and all honourable members. I, Ivan Tomizoto Makabane, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, move that the House notes that the report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance on the Division of Revenue Bill, that is Bill number 15 of 2025, shall be tabled for consideration by this House. Number 2, further notes that rule 118, number 2 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature provides that the report of the committee must be circulated to all members at least 24 hours before the debate. I therefore move that the House adopts a resolution in terms of Rule number 4, number 1, to suspend the provisions of Rule 118, number 2, and allow the report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance to be tabled for consideration by the August House during today's sitting. Honorable Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. That is the formal motion, honorable members. I think we need to note it as such. I'm informed that there is no debate on this motion. Yes, Honorable Masang.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, I just got a concern of the misuse of Section 4.1. There has been a plenty of time where we have received this order paper. I think it was last week. And I see every time we can't even issue the documents within 24 hours of this meeting. For me, this is really someone or somewhere is not doing his or her job. And I think there must be some sort of a cautions or consequences that should be taken. We can't misuse this section. We need to get this information in time so that we are well informed in time. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Sango. We will look into that. Now, honorable members, we now move the question whether the House adopt the motion tabled by Honorable Makabane.
Agreed.
So agreed. There is another motion on the order paper, honorable members, and by Honorable Weber.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the motion that I'm going to present is not politically motivated. Kodwa ningacabangi ukuthi sengiyathamba mangisho njalo. Mina nginolaka, manje ngiyabajayeza nje qala, ngiyawubona ngaphambili. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I grew up burning candles for light. At that time, and that's almost 100 years ago, all of our neighbors did not have electricity. But nowadays, we can't do without electricity, but it comes at a price. Eskom is supplying us with power, but by using coal-fired power stations to produce this power. But they are polluting the air, they are contaminating everything, and there's a danger to this, that there's a health hazard, and then there's a possibility that carbon contamination can result in our agricultural products not being accepted in overseas market because of the carbon contamination. Now, the question is there a solution? I believe that we must gradually move away from coal-fired power stations, gradually. And we can't do that with solar panels, because solar panels are simply not equipped to produce mass electricity, for instance, for a province or a country. But what is the solution? Because conventional nuclear power stations like Kuiberg is dangerous, they are costly, and they take time to fulfill that. I believe that we must consider the possibility of using coral pebble bed nuclear power stations. These coral pebble bed nuclear power stations are being used in China. Britain and America is considering of introducing them. Now I suggest that we investigate the possibility of using this system. I'm not suggesting that we research it because the research has already been done overseas. These coral pebble bed nuclear power stations they are safe, not like the one in Chernobyl that can create all sorts of hazards. They are safe. They can't be enriched to manufacture nuclear bombs. They can be broken up in smaller modular units, and they were originally designed for African cities. They were originally designed for African cities. Now they can be used to supply power for a city, or they can be used to feed this power into the grid. They are clean, they are safe, and they can be broken up in smaller modular units. I suggest that we seriously consider of investigating whether we shouldn't introduce this in our province and for that matter in our country. Other countries are already doing it. And now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we mustn't always be behind. Let's join the leaders of the world and do it here. Let's do it here. We can do it. And if we can do that, it's going to be clean power. It's not going to pollute. It's going to be safe. And we are going to join the leaders of the world in introducing this system. We have in South Africa already been investigating and researching this at Denel. That research was stopped. I believe that was a mistake. But the research was going on in other countries. I do not suggest that we restart researching it. I suggest that we consider the possibility of introducing that system to our province and to South Africa. I so move. I thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Thank you. I now call upon Honorable Estes Kwakwa from the ANC. The allocated 6 minutes. Sorry.
Speaker, Honorable Premier, Honorable MEC, Honorable members, distinguished guests in our midst, Lochani. It is true that the Highveld region in our province has a dense concentration of coal mines and coal-fired power stations, resulting in severe levels of air pollution. Air pollution significantly impacts human health, increasing of respiratory illness, cardiovascular diseases, and certain cancers. Little progress has been made to remedy the harm experienced by the environment due to the complicity of the relationship between the state and corporations. Coal-fired power stations have not been held accountable for the damage they cause to the environment and human health. A study released in 2019 revealed that the Mpumalanga Highveld region was ranked Africa's highest sulfur dioxide emission hotspot. Specific mention was made about Krill power stations being the region's leading contributors in sulfur dioxide emissions. Furthermore, a 2016 report from the NGO reported that pollution from about 12 coal-burning power stations in Mpumalanga was responsible for between 305 and 650 premature deaths. However, the closure of coal mines and decommissioning of coal-fired power stations is not a solution to the problem and can lead to a catastrophic rise in unemployment. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we must remember that Mpumalanga coal mining industry significantly contribute to the province GDP, accountable for roughly 20 to 25% of the provincial output. Our province produces around 80% of South Africa's coal, making it a major player in the national and global market. To mitigate the impact of air pollution in human and environment, a multi-pronged approach is needed, including the following: implementing and enforcing regulations for industrial emissions, promoting the use of electric vehicle and reduce reliance on fossil fuel-powered vehicles, promote renewable energy resources and reduce overall energy consumption, improve waste management practices, which includes proper disposal of waste to minimize harmful emissions from landfills, improve air quality monitoring and management, start own gardening initiatives to help improve long-term air quality. Plants can help clean the air quality in our neighborhood. Promote public awareness and engagement through educational and campaign community involvement. As I conclude, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the ANC-led government commits to clean environment, especially clean air. Air pollution is a health hazard and infringes on the fundamental rights to the health as enshrined in the Constitution, Section 24 of the Constitution. We therefore invite all stakeholders to play a role in this regard and save their lives. I thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Skwaku. I now call upon Honorable P.E. Shongwe from MK Party. You are allowed to 6 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the legislature, community members present. Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Mpumalanga being one of the most industrialized provinces in our country and having numerous coal-fired power stations and mining operations contribute to the highest level of air pollution in our country. My debate, Honorable Deputy Speaker, will focus mainly on the challenges experienced by our fellow people living in Mpumalanga. Emalahleni and Steve Tshwete areas are known for their coal mining activities, which have raised concern about air pollution. Some of the issues include, amongst others, the following. 1, respiratory problems. Mining activities and coal-fired power plants release huge amount of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, which exacerbates air quality issues. The coal mining and transportation of what is mined also generate dust and particulate matter that also contribute to air pollution. These have a negative health impact on local communities. Residents in surrounding areas may experience respiratory problems, cardiovascular issues, and other health concerns due to prolonged exposure to poor air quality. Most people, therefore, end up having asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. Exposure to pollutants like particulate matter, like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, also increase cancer rates among people. The second one being environmental concern. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the local ecosystem is highly affected by the compromised air quality, which is the product of the pollutants released through the mining activities. It is not only the air quality that is compromised, but also water pollution, which is the result of contaminated water sources because of mining, and that pose serious risk in human health and the environment. Many communities have been displaced, and their livelihood and cultural heritage has been severely disrupted. We appreciate the economic benefits generated through mining, but the health costs and environmental degradation far outweighs these benefits. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as Umkhonto weSizwe Party, we do not only want to complain about the challenges, but we are also providing some proposed solution to solve the problem. We first wish to call upon for the implementation of stricter regulation on mining activities, which we believe will help in mitigating air pollution. This will definitely require authorities to work hard in monitoring air quality and enforcing regulation to minimize pollution from mining activities. Mining companies should also be encouraged to adopt cleaner technologies such as dust suppression system, which will help to reduce emission. This transition to cleaner energy sources like solar and wind power will reduce reliance on coal and decrease pollution. Honorable Deputy Speaker, what is also more important is to create awareness about the challenges of pollution and danger thereof. This can be done by effectively fostering engagement with communities and stakeholders to raise awareness about air pollution and to promote collaborative solutions. The engagement with local communities should include involving them in decision-making processes that will help to address concern and promote sustainable development. In that way, communities will also take ownership of decisions affecting their lives. Honorable Speaker, the proposed solutions are not cast in stone, but will assist in reducing the air quality problem. This I say because there are ongoing challenges like balancing economic development and environmental protection. Our province continues to face challenges in balancing the economic growth and environmental protection. In closing, Honorable Speaker, we believe that as Umkhonto wesizwe, that addressing the air pollution in Emalahleni and Steve Tshwete areas require collaborative efforts, mining companies, regulatory bodies, and local communities to prioritize both economic development and environmental protection. As MKP, Honorable Speaker, we urge this August House to be part of the solution and not be off the pollution. It is done, if this is done well, we guarantee that the well-being of the Mpumalanga citizen will be safe. I so move, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, I'm now advised that on call upon N.T. Ndlovu from EFF, you are allocated 5 minutes, ma'am.
Greetings, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I take this opportunity and greet the Honorable Sidibe, Honorable Premier Mandandlovu, and honorable members of the August House. July is a special month in our organization. We will be celebrating 12 years of making politics fashionable and Parliament a public interest of both young and the old. You are all invited to join us in celebrating our movement on the 26th July in Khayelitsha, Rugby Stadium, Cape Town. But today, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I stand on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to support the motion that calls on the Department of Forestry, Fishery and Environment to publish a detailed action plan to reduce air pollution in the province. The Department of Forestry, Fishery and Environment has declared high-felt area pollution hotspots since 2007. Areas like Emalahleni, Steve Tshwete, Betal, Secunda, to mention the few, Speaker. But enforcement has been weak and inconsistent since then. Eskom is a state-owned enterprise that runs 12 coal-fire power stations in the province, one of the biggest sources of air pollution, not just in the province, but also in the country at large. Many of those plants are old, poorly maintained, and fail to meet air quality emission standards, but government continue to grant extension or delay enforcement of pollution limits. The department agencies lack political will and independence to hold polluters like Eskom and Sasol accountable due to lobby by industries. Many new mines are being opened towards near our communities, like in Krill. Schools and farms are more closer to mines, which increase people's exposure to dust and toxic gases such as PM10 and PM2 which are linked to asthma and lung diseases. Sulfur dioxide, which causes rain and respiratory problem as well. Nitrogen oxide also, which cause a lot of smoke and also a large contributor in respiratory issues. The time has come, and the time is now, that the Department of Forestry and Fishery and the Department of Forestry, Fishery and the Environment collaborate with sister Department of Health, take respiratory disease link to pollution in the province, partner with municipalities and provincial authority to integrate air quality goal into development plans, collaborate with the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy to phase out old mines and support just transmit to renewable energies such as solar energy, hydropower energy, considering the fact that you are having Mozambique, which is already in a hydropower energy. We can learn a lot from that. So, Honorable Speaker, we also urge that we expect the department to implement a dedicated air quality plan for Mpumalanga to protect our people and the environment at large. Set a clear target and timeline to reduce pollution and monitor abandoned mines and seal open coals that releases methane and other gases. Deploy real-time and quality monitoring station near mining areas to track pollution levels. Use also drones and satellites to monitor illegal and non-compliant activities around the province concerning mines. We understand that ESCOM is a large contributor to our economy, but Deputy Speaker, you cannot love the dove by holding it tight. I thank you.
Thank you. We now call upon Honorable S.J. Masango from DA. You are allocated 4 minutes. Masungbana.
Lord Chair, Deputy Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the debate for today is one of the issues not only in Mpumalanga, but the whole world. Air pollution through industrialization is the biggest issue. It is a global problem which should be prioritized by all countries as it affects every living species on the planet. Therefore, there is no boundaries for air movement. It is directed by science. We know of the World Organization dealing with climate change, with meetings that are being held every year, but nothing is changing. It is just rhetoric. That is why climate change is affecting our livelihood very badly. Dealing with environmental pollution, it must start at local levels, with mayors, provincial governments with premiers, and national governments with presidents. In Mpumalanga, I don't know of any municipality that is not or has not polluted the environment through sewer spillages, which affects people's health and dignity. Clean water streams are polluted on a daily basis, and the unfortunate part is that we have to again drink the very same water, just having some chemicals added to make potable and some stages causing disease to humankind. On my oversight visit to some dams in Mpumalanga, I have witnessed so many small and big fishes that have died due to the water being polluted by raw sewage. This is just one issue that needs to be addressed at local levels by mayors and not through court orders. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I agree with Honorable Weber. Let's do it ourselves in Mpumalanga. I think we all agree that Mpumalanga is one of the provinces with the most mines. Therefore, Mpumalanga can lead by example and others will follow. I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. I now call upon Honorable Nsipungane Mtweni from MK Party. You are allocated 6 minutes, ma'am.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members of legislature, community members present, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, as Umkhonto weSizwe Party, we appreciate taking part in this important debate which seeks to highlight concern about mining companies' social responsibility in Mpumalanga, particularly in communities that live within the surrounding the mine. The current situation where the mine's emissions are causing serious damage to air quality which is turn affect the health of our people in Mpumalanga. We believe the harsh effect on our people could have been minimized if mining companies did not abdicate their responsibility. Key issues that MK would like to address are the following. Number one, lack of social investment. There is insufficient community development in Mpumalanga, especially in communities like Inemalahleni and Melebek, where most of these mining companies are located. Most mining companies do not invest enough in local communities, despite generating significant profits from our province. Communities claims that mining companies are failing to deliver on promised social programs, infrastructure development, and job creation that resulted in unfulfillment promises. Number two, health and environmental concern. Honorable Speaker, much has been said about various health issues that include respiratory problems. That includes respiratory problem. And as MK Party, we feel that mining companies are not dealing with that adequately. That also includes environmental degradation affecting the local ecosystem. Number two, community demands. We are the party that talks on behalf of the people, and we demand that the mining companies increase their social investment, which will impact positively infrastructure development and job creation for our local residents. We also call for greater transparency and accountability from mining companies regarding social responsibilities, initiatives, and environmental impact. We are resolute in promoting that mining companies should foster community engagement, which will culminate in regular community consultations, public meetings, and other forms of communications to ensure that concerns and needs of communities are addressed. When that is done properly, we will then see the rehabilitation of the land being a program understood by both the communities and the mining companies to the betterment of the greatest society in Mpumalanga. Honorable Speaker, the mining companies will lead in developing a rehabilitation plan which will outline the steps to be taken to restore the land after mining activities, rather than just leaving dumps for the communities to clear up on their own. MKP also want to argue that it is better to implement progressive rehabilitation, which is a process of rehabilitating the land during the mining processes, rather waiting until the end of the mine's life. It is also important to restore ecosystem and
1 minute remaining.
It is also important to restore ecosystem and by introducing native vegetation, rehabilitating watercourse, and promoting wildlife habitation. Honorable Speaker, by taking steps mentioned above, mining companies will contribute towards sustainable development of our mining towns and Mpumalanga in general, and this will help to minimize the negative impact of mining on local communities and the environment. The health of our people and the air we breathe will be much cleaner and better. I thank you.
Thank you. I now call upon Honorable R.J. Malachi from EFF. You are allocated 5 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable members, commissars and fighters and ground forces of the EFF and people of Mpumalanga. I rise to respond to the motion brought forward by the House by Honorable W. Weber of the Freedom Front Plus. The reality is that Mpumalanga is under siege from corporate pollution, toxic air and environmental degradation, and the government is complicit through inaction and collusion with the extractive capital. The Constitution is ambiguous, Honorable Deputy Speaker, as Section 24 guarantees every person the right to an environmental that is not harmful to their health or well-being. But what kind of democracy exists when children in Emalahleni breathe more sulfur dioxide than oxygen, and the elderly in Middelburg cough themselves to death under the invisible clouds of poison? This is not just public healthcare crisis, but chronic environmental apartheid. Yes, the motion correctly notes that Mpumalanga hosts the highest concentration of coal-fired power station and mining operation in the world. But let us pretend for a minute that both the Freedom Front Plus or the ANC has ever stood up for the poor and black community choking in this pollution zone. Furthermore, the most recent finding in Paula in May 13, 2025, by the groundwork report revealed that 400 households surveyed with 51% experienced shortness of breath, 53% had eye irritation, 52% with nasal irritation, and 58% with throat irritation, respectively. To the extent that this has worsened in 2014, Greenpeace Africa highlighted Mpumalanga coal plants as a major contribution to the NO squatted and the SO squatted hotspot, often exceed the World Health Organization recommendation threshold. Furthermore, the EFF reject the commodification of the environmental, stating that capitalist industries externalize the cost of environmental damage to the poor communities. We condemn the malfunctioning corporates like Glencoe in Middelburg, Sasol, Secunda, and Exaro in Belfast for the ecological destruction. Mining companies in the province are allowed by the responsible department to operate with immunity, manipulating the environmental impact assessment and violation of the rehabilitation responsibility, especially in the rural and the peri-urban areas. To this end, the EFF linked the coal-related pollution to respiratory disease, cancer, premature death in municipalities such as Emalahleni, Emakhazeni, and Secunda. We demand free state-funded health screening and compensation for affected families, especially in the communities exposed to toxic emission from the power plants and the mines. Children and elderly proportionately affected, and the EFF views this as an environmental racism and class-based expression. Honorable Speaker, the EFF proposed the following: a state-owned of all mineral and energy resources to ensure environmental protection and social accountability, thus the social solidarity, individual alienation, coupled with satisfaction of the need of communities, that the satisfaction of the markets and the greedy profits-driven corporations. To ban open cast mining near the resident area and mandatory community consultation. An immediate enforcement of strict or air quality standard and mandatory air filters for all coal power station plants in the industry. A just transition fund fully financed by pollution corporates to rehabilitate communities and the ecosystem. Sustainable energy mix led by the state-owned renewable energy utility to avoid dependency on independent power station. While we support the climate action, we insist that the solution must be a socialist nature, work-led and centered around redressing historical environment injustification in black community. I thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Okay. It's okay. I understand. I now call upon Honorable B. Grobler. You are allocated 4 minutes in your word.
Is it not full, Deputy Speaker?
4.
4. Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Honourable Deputy Speaker, we look at the motion, and I think we can all agree that our air is dirty. But as Honourable Masangu said, that's a problem that is not localized in the province. It's actually a worldwide problem. And we can all agree that as responsible public representatives with a vision for the long term and for our children and their children, we need to make responsible decisions in order to ensure that our air is clean, that we reduce pollution, and that we reduce carbon emissions. Honourable Deputy Speaker, there are many ways in which we can do this. Solar power, wind turbines, hydropower, biomass energy, which uses sugarcane and forestry and agri-waste, which will work well in Mpumalanga. We have nuclear power, we have battery storage, we have green hydrogen, and then there was the one that the proposer of this motion proposed as coral pebble bed reactors. All of these have pros and cons, they have benefits and disadvantages. These include the costs, the safety, the emissions, the practicality, and many more factors that you need to look at. Honourable Weber said that research has been done and that we have the solutions. But Honourable Deputy Speaker, and I think this is the point of the debate, none of these can be implemented without political will. The decision makers need to give the go-ahead. And this is not difficult, as the wheel has already been designed. We don't need to find the solutions, they already exist. I will give you a real-life example. Municipalities in the Western Cape allow residents to privately generate energy. They allow them to put the power or the electricity back into the grid, and they give them credit on their municipal accounts. So there you see where political will is implemented. It allows private investment to give returns, and then there's almost an unintended consequence of having less pollution, because people use solar power and they use wind power. The DA-run City of Cape Town uses a combination of hydro power, solar power, and landfill gas to energy to generate electricity. With this generation capacity, they buffer 2 stages of load shedding. The point being, they use less electricity generated by coal power generated power stations. And thus they have less emissions. Again, Honourable Deputy Speaker, the wheel does not have to be designed. It's time that municipalities in Mpumalanga change their strict rules and allow private producers of energy to put electricity back into the grid. Whether that are households that put up solar panels and put electricity back into the grid, or whether it's private investors that put up solar farms, wind farms, or the coral bed reactors that Honourable Weber spoke about. The fact is we need to change the rules. That will allow investment to give the investors a return, but also give us less emissions in the province. Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. I now call upon Honourable F.T. Mashiane from Action SA. You are allocated 4 minutes, ma'am.
Okay. Honourable Deputy Speaker, Honourable Premier, members of the legislature. Speaker, we are not dealing with a theoretical concern here. We are talking about a province where children grow up coughing through their childhoods, where elderly residents carry asthma pumps instead of fresh air, and where entire communities live under a toxic blanket of sulfur dioxide and particulate matter. The science is clear. The images are undeniable. The consequences are generational. Mpumalanga is South Africa's industrial heartbeat, but it is also its environmental emergency ward. And this House must recognize that unless we confront the crisis of coal dependency and pollution with agency and innovation, we are failing our constitutional duty, especially the duty outlined in Section 24 of the Constitution, which guarantees everyone the right to an environmental that is not harmful to their health or well-being. Speaker, it is for this reason that Action SA not only supports this motion, but believes it must be the beginning of a bolder, more courageous conversation about Mpumalanga's energy future. The call for an action plan from the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environmental is critical, but plans are only as good as the tools we use to implement them. And if we are serious about reducing emissions, improving air quality, and sustaining economic growth, we must explore clean, efficient, and scalable technologies that match our province's unique challenges. One such solution emerging not from ideology but from science is the coral pebble bed reactors, or CPBR. Action SA supports exploring this technology as part of a diverse, low-emissions energy mix that breaks our dependence on coal and secures reliable energy for our industries and communities. Let me briefly highlight why CPBRs are worth serious consideration. First, these reactors are inherently safe. With passive safety systems that prevent overheating and meltdowns, they offer the public peace of mind while generating clean energy. Second, CPBRs operate at a higher thermal efficiency than conventional nuclear plants, meaning we can produce more power using less fuel with less environmental waste. Third, and crucially, they produce minimum long-lived radioactive waste,
1 minute remaining.
an issue that has rightly raised concerns about nuclear of the past. The technology is modular and scalable. It can run on alternative fuels like thorium and are difficult to weaponize. Speaker, we are not suggesting this technology is a silver bullet, but we are saying that Mpumalanga needs real options. Honorable Speaker, the environmental is not an opposition issue or a ruling party issue. It is a people's issue. It is a justice issue. And most of all, it is a moral obligation to future generations. Action SA supports this motion and calls on all members of this House to move beyond rhetoric and towards implementation, towards science-based policy making, clean energy investment, and the restoration of air to our people that they can breathe without fear. Let the clean future of Mpumalanga begin today. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members are now moved to call upon Honourable MC Masilela from the ANC, 8 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker, Honourable Premier, Honourable members of the Executive Council, and Honourable members of the Provincial Legislature. Good morning. Honourable Deputy Speaker, it is a privilege to stand before you today to participate in this very important debate which seeks to place the environment of the province at the apex of government priority. Given the alarming health risks to humankind and the environment, in general due to effects of air pollution, We call on the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment to urgently publish a detailed action plan for reducing air pollution in Mpumalanga, a region that continues to suffer some of the worst air quality in the country. Accordingly, the blueprint must include clear timelines for each stage of implementation, measurable targets for reducing harmful emissions. And lastly, the plan must include a robust accountability mechanism to ensure regular public reporting and compliance by all stakeholders. Furthermore, we urge ESCOM and other major industrial contributors, including operators of coal-fired power stations, mining operations, and manufacturing facilities to immediately implement and fast-track the adoption of emission-reducing technologies in line with national air quality standards and global best practices. The two districts of Garsibande and Kangala together host 80% of South Africa coal-fired power stations. Over the past 30 years, the government has been progressively developing an integrated environmental management legislative framework in line with Section 24 of the Constitution, Act number 108 of 1996. Honorable members, the Mpumalanga Highveld region was identified and declared as one of the first air pollution priority areas. This will then allow the resources to be allocated at a national level to reduce the air pollutant loads in these areas. One of the interventions included the installation of ambient air quality monitoring stations in Steve Tshwete, Emalahleni, Likwa, and Dipaleseng local municipalities. The province is more about ensuring that the transition to cleaner energy is just, meaning that job losses should be kept to an absolute minimum throughout the transition, and that the pace of the transition is of such a nature that people can adjust to the change. In this regard, the province has entered into an agreement with ESCOM on the just energy transition to use the lessons learned at Komati Power Station throughout the just transition process in Mpumalanga. The Just Energy Transition Program current approach is thus twofold, namely focusing on decarbonation of the provincial economy by introducing projects on wind, solar, biomass, green hydrogen, sustainable aviation fuel, and natural gas, and also focusing on reduction of carbon emission by a process of carbon capture. To lower air emission in Mpumalanga, a multi-pronged approach is thus needed, focusing on reducing emission from power generation, industrial activities, and transportation, as well as promoting cleaner energy sources and sustainable practices. This includes implementing stricter regulations, improving air quality monitoring, and encouraging community participation in emission reduction efforts. If we are to succeed in our quest to reduce emission from power generation, we need to seriously invest in renewable energy. Transitioning away from coal-fired power plant towards renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and nuclear power is crucial. We also need to improve existing coal plant by implementing technologies like flue gas desulfurization to reduce sulfur dioxide emission from existing coal plants, as is being done at Gusile. Catalytic carbon capture and storage projects like one in Leandra are exploring the feasibility of carbon capture and emission from power plants and storing them underground with a view of reducing atmospheric pollution. In addition, ESCOM is implementing air quality offsets, which involve taking measures in vulnerable communities to directly address the impact of emission from their power station. Honorable members, Mpumalanga is at the forefront of South Africa's just transition. Historically dependent on coal, we now face the opportunity to transform economic challenges into sustainable development opportunities, creating space for MSMEs to innovate, grow, and support environmental sustainability. Accordingly, we have facilitated the establishment of the Mpumalanga Green Cluster Agency to drive our developmental agenda on green economy space. Government has positioned the Mpumalanga Green Cluster Agency to play a vital role in this journey, serving as the Secretariat of the Just Transition and Climate Change in our province. We'll continue to support the MGCA and its partners as they lead the way in building a low-carbon, climate-resilient economy for all the people of Mpumalanga. Honorable Speaker, our province has proactively explored green economy opportunities through a cluster development model, engaging government, business, and academia to drive sustainable growth. As mentioned above, Mpumalanga is deeply rooted in South Africa energy legacy. Mpumalanga is home to approximately 80% of the country coal reserve, making it the historical heartland of coal-based energy production. This endowment has powered the nation for decades, but it has also shaped our economy, labor patterns, and communities in profound ways. As we transition, we must not only address the socio-economic implications of the shift, but we must also embrace innovation as the engine of our renewal.
1 minute left.
It is through innovative thinking, technologies, and solutions that will repurpose our legacy infrastructure and unlock new green pathways for inclusive growth. As I conclude, together we can build a resilient, inclusive, and sustainable green economy in Mpumalanga. Let us leverage innovation to shape a prosperous future that benefits our environment. Lastly, the health, environment, and dignity of Mpumalanga residents cannot be compromised any longer. Clean air is a constitutional right, and urgent action is now overdue. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Another question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion as tabled by Honourable Weber.
Agreed.
So agreed. Thank you. I now move to the order paper and now invite the Secretary to read the first order of the day.
Order number 1, proposal regarding the introduction of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Law Repeal Bill 2025 in terms of Rule 163 of the Rules and Orders.
I now call upon the chairperson of the committee, who is also the chairperson of the ad hoc committee, Honorable F.V. Mlombo, to table the proposal.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, thank you very much. I stand here, Honorable Deputy Speaker, to present a proposal regarding the introduction of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Law Repeal Bill of 2025. Rule 163 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature states that, I open quote, a committee intending to introduce a bill must, for the purpose of obtaining permission of the legislature, table in the legislature a memorandum containing number 1, particulars of the proposed legislature, B, explaining the object thereof, and C, indicating the financial implications of the bill. The legislature may give permission for the proposal with or without condition, or reject the proposal. Therefore, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I, Fana Vincent Mlombo, the chairperson of the ad hoc committee on the repeal of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Act number 7 of 2026, move that the House notes that, number 1, the ad hoc committee was briefed on the 25th of June 2025 regarding the repeal of the Act and the amendment of the rules and orders of the legislature to ensure that the management and administration of the legislature, conditions of service of employees, and other related matters are duly regulated by the rules and orders. During the above-mentioned meeting, the ad hoc committee recommended that permission should first be obtained from the House for the introduction of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Repeal Bill of 2025. I therefore, Honorable Deputy Speaker, further move in accordance with Rule 163 that the House grants permission for the ad hoc committee to introduce the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature Service and Administration Law Repeal Bill, Bill 4 of 2025,
taking into account the particulars of the proposed legislation, the objects thereof, and the financial implications as published in the ATC. Honourable Deputy Speaker, I so move.
Thank you. I'm informed that there is no debate on this proposal. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the mandate as tabled by Honourable Mlombo.
Agreed.
So agreed. And I'll call upon the Secretary to call the second order of the day.
Order number 2, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Finance on the Division of Revenue Bill B15-2025.
And I'll call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Finance, Honourable M. Malipeng, to table the report.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to yourself, the Honorable Premier, the Honorable Leader of Business, and all honorable members. I rise as the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee in Finance to table the report as read by the Secretary. I must confirm, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that after the Portfolio Committee received a briefing from the permanent delegate of the NCOP, all the processes were followed, where public hearings were held and public inputs incorporated to the report. I so move that this August House consider the report. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
I'm informed there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable Malipeng.
Agreed.
So agreed. And I'll call upon the Secretary to read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, conferral of a mandate.
And I'll call upon the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable E.N. Makabane, to table the mandate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. In terms of Section 65 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, provincial legislatures are required to confer authority on their delegates in the National Council of Provinces, that is the NCOP, to cast votes on their behalf. I, Ivan Tombizoto Makabane, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, move in accordance with Section 65 of the Constitution, read with Rule 201, number 4 of the Rules and Orders, that the House confers on the permanent delegates representing the province of Mpumalanga in the NCOP the final mandate to vote in favor of the Division of Revenue Bill B15 of 2025 pursuant to the recommendations of the Portfolio Committee on Finance. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the mandate as tabulated by Honorable Makabane.
Agreed.
Agreed. Agreed. Honorable members, now I call upon the Secretary to read the fifth or the fourth order of the day.
Order number 4, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Economic Development and Tourism, 4.1, oversight visit conducted at the Malahleni local municipality on the 4th of April 2025, Big Eye Minerals and Energy Pty Ltd, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency. 4.2, fourth quarterly performance report for 2024-25 financial year, Department of Economic Development and Tourism.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Economic Development and Tourism, Honorable L.A. Mbuyane, to table the report.
Greetings to you, Honorable Deputy Speaker and the August House. I hereby table the report as presented by the Secretary for the Honorable House to consider and adopt the report. Thank you very much.
I am informed that there is no debate on this report. The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable Mbuyane.
Agreed.
Agreed. I now call upon the Secretary to read the 5th order of the day.
Order number 5, consideration of reports of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. 5.1, fourth quarterly performance report for 2024-25 financial year, Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. 5.2, fourth quarterly performance report for 24-25 financial year, Department of Human Settlements.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlement, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable D.P. Nkosi, to table the report.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to the Honorable Premier and all honorable members in this August House. I'm rising as a chairperson for the Portfolio Committee of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs to confirm that this is a report. These reports are the reports that were deliberated by the Portfolio Committee, and I move that this August House must consider and adopt these 2 reports as presented. Thank you very much.
I'm informed that there is no debate on this report. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as presented by Honorable Nkosi.
Agreed.
So agreed. And I'll call upon the Secretary to read the 6th order of the day.
Order number 6, consideration of a report of the Portfolio Committee on Culture, Sport and Recreation on the meeting held with the language structures of PenSlap in Mpumalanga Province on the 12th of June 2025.
I now call upon the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Culture, Sports, Recreation, Honorable B.J. Grobler, to table the report.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Committee of Culture, Sports and Recreation to table the report as read by the Secretary to the House for adoption. Thank you.
Informed that there is no debate on this order. Now the question before the House whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honourable Grobler.
Agreed.
So agreed. Honourable members, that concludes the business of the day. You are all requested to remain standing in your places until the procession left the chamber. Okay.
All right.
The House is adjourned until this Thursday the 7th, 10 o'clock in the chamber. The 17th July